Hey, hey, Mashers. Welcome back. It's another episode of the Weekly Mash. Today, we are so excited to bring you something truly unique. Ooh, it's going to be a hard one for me, guys. I have a cold, and it's like I got that floaty thing going on. I have a feeling I'm going to get jumbled. Aw. It's life. It's fine. Anywho, we have a historical romance with a twist. We have Kate Winch here today, and she has written Restitching Destiny, book 1. Thank you so much, Kate, for joining us. Can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your book, and we'll jump into some questions.
Okay, so hi, my name's Kate. If you follow me on TikTok, you've heard that intro plenty of times. And Restitching Destiny is my first book ever. Like you said, it is a historical romance with a twist. It is a rewriting of a past life of my own that I learned about through past life regression back in 2021. And then I wrote it out and decided to rewrite the ending as like therapy catharsis and found an editor. And then it kind of became what it is now. And now I have the second book is in my editor's hands, but not quite towards the end of things yet. But yeah.
So excited.
It's getting there.
I haven't even read it yet, and I'm so excited.
I know, right? I'm always excited. We just love
Get so
books.
excited. We're like your biggest hype people, everybody. We're like,
Yeah,
we don't
just wanna
care
hype
who you
everyone up.
are. If you guys come across our Instagram, whether you've been on the podcast or not, we're like, share the story, share the story, share the
Right?
story. Getting tired of me sharing the story. And then
Yeah, I
she
don't care.
taught me how to make the AI like background generator
On
for like
Instagram.
when you share to your story. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's
And
fun.
I'm like, ooh, this is cool. And I'm like, which one do I want? Because it gives you, I'm like,
Yeah.
terrible. We're your biggest hype people, guys.
Yes, we try to share all the things.
It's getting hard, but we try. Okay, Kate, we're so excited you're here. Beyond excited. Let's get into fun questions. Restitching Destiny is a unique concept, a historical romance that's also a past life retelling, as you said. Can you share how your past life regression and quantum healing sessions led to this story?
So it started like Christmas of 2020. I was given a gift certificate by my husband for a past life regression session at my local metaphysical shop, Quirky Lotus in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Shameless plug.
Plugged.
And I had always wanted to do that. Past lives fascinate me. I grew up with a lot of media with past life stuff in it, particularly a lot of anime because I spent part of my childhood in Japan. And
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, military brat. But
Okay.
so I booked my session and got in at the end of March and went and did my session with the lovely Taven at the Lotus. And it was the most unreal thing I have ever done, but also the realest thing was anytime people ask me like, well, what was it like? And I'm like, I can't say it's like a bad trip because I've never done anything to have a bad trip. And it wasn't necessarily bad. It was just bananas because like I'm seeing these things and I'm experiencing these things and Taven's asking me these questions and I'm answering because I know like at one point, and I have the recording of my session. I have yet to be able to listen to it because there's some very emotional points in it.
Yeah.
And she asked me a question. She goes, what does your hair look like? And I didn't know I did this, but I made this face and I went, it's curly. And she's just like laughing at me. But I knew that it was curly and that I didn't like it. Obviously, not me. I don't have curly hair at all.
Yeah.
So it was just really interesting to have this like whole batches of life knowledge because I saw 2 lives in the first session I did. Just this whole life's worth of knowledge right there instantly. It's really hard to find words. It was just bananas.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I've never even
Sounds cool,
heard
though.
of
It's
those sessions before. That sounds
Me
so
neither.
interesting.
They are so interesting. And so quantum healing is different from past life regression. I was gifted a quantum healing session by the parents of some of my students, actually. I'm a music teacher for my day job. And for like my big
That's cool.
musical gift, they gave me a gift certificate to the Lotus because they know I like it. And so I went and I did the healing session. And I didn't know when I went into it that I would see more lives, but I did because they called in my spiritual healing team and my healing team is my past lives. Like, they are all me. And I just sat up when we were done and I was like, it's all me. And Damon's like, I know. And I'm like, it's all me. It's just, if you ever get the chance to do regressions, past life regression can be heavy, especially when you see like how past lives ended. Cause the two lives I saw in the first one was a very tragic, abrupt ending, and then the other one was just sad. It was just not happy, and that was really, really heavy to deal with after the fact. But the quantum healing, oh my gosh, you want to talk about, like, I felt so good coming out of that session. I felt like Jello bones, and I was relaxed, and it was so good. So
I'm
I
interested.
highly
We'll have to
recommend
see if
those.
there's anything like that here, Miranda.
I know. That would be interesting to go and do and then like describe our experience.
Yeah. Well, we did something when we were younger. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was just us talking, because I have like a weird lined like birthmark on my back, and somebody told us that it was like how you died in a past life. And somehow, I don't remember how we got to it though, Miranda. It was like that I got stabbed in my back, and that's why it was
I
there.
don't know. I feel like it was our imagination at that point, but I mean, you never know where that comes from. I also know we really liked the movie. Oh, what is that movie called where it's the guy and he's reincarnated?
I don't remember.
It's like a 90s movie, but we really enjoyed that. So I feel like that might have been part of it too.
Yeah. I'm interested now.
I know. Yeah. Super intriguing. Do
Yeah.
it.
It'd be cool.
So, Kat McDuff is your past life self, which, as we've heard, is mind blowing. So crazy to think about. Did it feel different writing a character that is literally you, but from another time?
Not really, because in everything that I write, and I don't know if this is true for other authors, I am not in the driver's seat when I write. Like, I might have a plan, and then whoever I am writing, they might go with the plan and do whatever they want. But they're driving. I'm literally. It's almost like, oh, there's a type of like psychic work where you're just like auto writing. I won't say that it is auto writing, but kind of, because I just go, okay, where are we going? What are we doing? I figure we're doing A, B, and C, and they fill me in on how we go between A, B, and C, or they take B off track and take me straight to Z. It's just, I'm not in the
We hear
driver's
it a
seat.
lot. Yeah, we hear that a lot. That they like plan the characters, like their name and like how they look in their head. But as soon as they sit down at the keyboard, like the characters write the story.
Exactly.
They're just like
Very common.
that. I think it is. We hear that more often than we do anything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
So that makes me feel a little less crazy. I will say with this one, the amount of historical research that I ended up having to do and that my editor ended up helping me with, because my editor, we found each other just by chance through a friend. And it started out, she was just kind of taking a look at it. And I was like, I'd love to submit it for publication, but just whatever, I'm chill. And she was like, no, I really think this can be something. Like, you've got it. We just need to polish it. I'm like, okay. But the amount of research about Colonial South Carolina, as somebody who, like, I've been in South Carolina since I was a second grader. My dad was born and raised here till he went to the military. The amount of research I've had to do on colonial specific South Carolina geography and all that kind of stuff. It is, the amount of knowledge I have gotten seems random, but there was so, it was like,
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
wait, that doesn't make sense. And my editor was great. She was like, listen, you could ride a horse in a week from here to here, but that horse is going to be dead. You want to try and change that timeline?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. We have a running joke. So as I was saying earlier, Miranda's running joke is that she's an secret FBI investigator. And mine is the reasons why I will never write a book. I'm a great reader. I'm not a writer. And that is like number one is I'm not doing research. I'm not like world building, and I'm not character building. You're jumping into a story and that's what you get. And it's a 25-page novella with no cover.
Sometimes that's what we want, though. Sometimes that's the candy we need to get through the day.
Yeah. 100%.
It could work.
Okay, so why did you choose Colonial South Carolina as the backdrop? Was it tied directly from what came through in your sessions, or did you expand on it while researching and writing?
So initially in the session, after the session, we kind of had like a debrief, and Taylor was like, I really wondered, I wonder where you were. And I kind of knew in my head that I was somewhere in the Carolinas, because, North and South Carolina, they were just Carolina for, the first part of their time as colonies. And so I knew I was in Carolina, but I kind of felt like I was in North Carolina. I wasn't totally sure where. So then started doing some like actual historical digging and looking at like pictures of places that I saw. And then I figured out I was in Charleston at the end. I was like, I know those old buildings. I've been to Charleston plenty of times. There's several buildings and several things that are still there. So I was like, okay, so clearly I was in the Carolinas and I ended up in Charleston. That I know for sure. And then, like I said, I've been in South Carolina since I was 6 years old, since I started second grade here. So it just it was one of those things. It was like, oh, okay, that's correct. Check, and kind of went on with it.
It's cool that you already knew, like, that's where it was. Like, you didn't have to go and try to like figure out where you were. You know what I mean? Like, you already knew, like, this is, like, I totally recognize this. This is where I was. This is where I've been. And this is where I'm putting my story.
I think a huge thing, and a lot of people talk about this as they start investigating their past lives, they feel connected to a particular time period or a particular location. I love Charleston, South Carolina. I think it is a beautiful city. It has a very interesting, not so very history, but there's just this draw to it that I've had since I was a kid. Like, since I went on a 5th grade field trip there, I was like, I love this place. And come to find out, that's where past self and past husband lived up until I...
It's just mind-blowing. Yeah.
I know.
My goodness.
We might have to try this.
I know. I wonder if your past life is like ancestral related, or if it's completely like different. You know what I mean?
I suppose it could be. I don't think mine is, just because I've also done like the ancestry DNA stuff. Because my parents had done it, and then my husband and I did it. And most of my family ancestrally is actually from like Kentucky, and they settled in Kentucky in like the 1700s, which is a little bit after Kat's story in South Carolina. So time's a really interesting soup when you look at it from this perspective.
Yeah. Man, I'm so intrigued. It's interesting.
I know.
Okay, so going along with that, for those who might not know, like us, about quantum healing or regression, what was one fun or surprising thing about the process that you want readers to understand, maybe that you haven't mentioned yet?
So I didn't anticipate the possibility of what I'm going to call it the waiting room while in those sessions. So there's like this neutral space that, if you're looking at the cover, this blue, smoky, subliminal place, this is literally what my mind displayed as that waiting room, that space between this life and the next, life, death, etc. So anytime you see this, or if in any other books of mine any other books of mine you read in the future, if they're in this place, they are between the living and the dead. This is the in-between. This is where the veil is thin. And I didn't realize that I would see something, and that there was actually going to be like, because it became almost a grounding spot between lives. Because as we got to the end of Kat's life, we were seeing like where it was going and how it was going to end. And I'm panicking, crying, because I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to, because I knew what was happening. And so Taven, led me back into this calm down area. And I can remember she said, hang on, let me get you a crystal. And she got me this hunking crystal that, like, I couldn't really feel anything up until she put it into my hands, and it kind of grounded me again and calmed me down enough to where I could go to the next life. And then I saw this same space again during my healing sessions. Whether or not this is what it looks like for everybody, or if this is just me, I don't know. But this is, this misty blue gray, I've been there. I've seen that. So I didn't.
That's so cool.
Having a visual concept of it is really strange, but I kind of like it now. It's made some things, like last year my dad passed.
Sorry.
And as he would say, it is what it is. But in his like labor out of life, I kind of was able, I don't know if I made it up or not. I went and talked to Taven about it, and she's like, no, that was 1,000% real. But I was kind of able to meet with my dad there as he was like transitioning. And sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I know I'm about the same page, and it's not even my dad.
I know.
There's this sense of comfort for me, in that I know lots of people are, scared of what comes next, scared of death, scared of dying. And I was to an extent, even though like I know a lot about, the science of it and what happens and, able to detach emotionally, but I know what I'm going to see. I know where I'm going. Like it's because I hate the unknown. I'm terrified of the unknown. So having that is a really big source of comfort. And I hadn't anticipated being able to witness it and being able to have like a visual concept.
Hmm. Maybe I think so. Weird, crazy fact about me that I don't tell a lot of people is like my biggest fear is death. And it always has been since I watched Casper when I was like 6 years old.
Aw.
I remember running from the bedroom screaming
Yeah.
that I didn't want to die. And it literally, that's what a lot of my anxiety revolves around. And so I think maybe this might help.
It
could.
could. It very well could.
It's something that I didn't realize the time of the first session how much benefit I was going to get from. And then when my dad passed, I literally described it as I was standing in the blue void and I held open a green jello door for my dad to be able to go through. I was like, it's okay, you can go.
Cool.
And when I was like, did I make that up? Maybe. And Taven's like, no, you did not. I promise you did not. And I'm like, okay, I appreciate the fact that you don't think I'm crazy because I know it sounds certifiable, but
No.
it's just, there's just this sense of like, okay, like you don't have to like it. It's not fun, but it's not this big scary thing that you don't know. And having some semblance of an understanding has kind of, it's eased a lot for me.
Maybe you need to try it. You're convincing me, Kate. You're convincing me.
Yes. Come to the metaphysical
Okay.
side.
So your story blends not only the romance, but the idea of love existing across lifetimes. Do you personally believe we carry our connections from one life to the next?
I do. I totally do. I can remember after I finished the session where I learned about Kat's life, like we had our little debrief and I just kind of hung out at the metaphysical shop for a little bit. And then I drove home and I was thinking about it. And Kat's husband's name is Michael. And I knew his name was Michael. I knew it in the session because I could remember I cried and Taven's like, why are you sad? And I said, we didn't get to grow old together because in the original life they didn't. And I got out of the car when I got home and my husband came out on the steps and was like looking at me and I said, I think you're Michael. And he just looked at me. I was like, I can't explain that
Like,
right
are
now.
you crazy?
But I just need because his name is Micah and he's like, hang on,
Oh.
hold on. And I was like, because the joke was my grandmother, we've been together now 15 years. My grandmother still to this day calls him Michael, even though it is Micah. But I just got out of the car and I was like, I think you're Michael. And he's like, have you been talking to Nanny? And I'm like, no. I just need you to put this in your pocket for later. And I just need you to accept it for right now. And he's like, okay. And then when I was able to get to where I could talk about it, he was like, oh, okay.
That's cool though. That's what Grandma called.
Yeah,
too.
It's again, it was
Wowza.
just one of those like that's nuts, that's bananas.
Yeah. Wow.
Gosh, I got goosebumps.
Goosey bibble.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what I call them too.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
Yeah.
That kind of
Seriously,
stuff makes
we've
me
always
so
called
happy.
them goose pimples, and everybody looks at us funny.
That's what
And we're like,
they
no,
are.
that's what they are.
Okay. I was just making sure they weren't fussing with each other.
Right?
You're good.
Yeah. Is it too quiet in there? Like,
Well, so my son is a teenager, and then my daughter, he's 13, she's 7. And so there's the distinct timbre difference, and it's like, okay,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I'm hearing his timbre, what's going on? Like, because he's a very quiet kid. He's my stealth child, or he tries to be my stealth child. And he has supersonic hearing. Like, we got him tested. He has above average hearing, so he can
That's
probably hear
crazy.
everything I'm saying about him right now.
He's probably peeking around the corner.
No, he just came down the hall and nodded. God, don't die, kid. All right, bye.
that's funny.
That's supersonic hearing, and there he is.
There he is.
Hello.
You rang?
It's just like I've been summoned.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Since this is your debut, what was the biggest challenge that you faced in bringing Restitching Destiny to life? And what was your biggest, wow, this is really happening moment?
Biggest challenge? Probably, so when I originally wrote Restitching, I actually submitted like the first 50 pages to a publishing company, and I cannot remember, God, what is it called? Dragon Blade Publishing, which is exclusively historical romance. And they had this contest where you submit like the first 50 pages, and then there's a short list, and from the short list you submit the novel. Well, I submitted my first 50 thinking, yeah, nothing's gonna happen. And then I found out on April Fool's Day, of all the days to announce this stuff, I found out I made the short list, and I was like, oh my God, like that's my name. That's my name. And it was the first time I'd submitted anything, save for when I was like in middle school and had poems or something submitted.
Yeah.
And then I found out 2 days later, okay, we need your completed manuscript. And I had like 60 pages. So I literally wrote the first draft in 11 days.
Oh my goodness.
Which
snap.
I documented that on my TikTok. That was in the first year of me like starting my writer's TikTok. And the intro is always, hi, my name is Kate and I have blah, blah, blah days to finish writing a book. So there was that and just trying to get it done. And obviously the draft did not make the final cut, which is totally fine. Like y'all were talking about with
it's an 11-day draft.
Yeah, I mean, it's an 11-day draft, but the universe knew what it was doing.
I mean, I'm sure it was great. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure it was great.
She had issues when she was just that little 11-day thing. But aside from that, the biggest issue I had while writing it was getting the freaking book cover format. Because I designed the book cover myself and trying to format it in KDP about undid me mentally. Because I kept doing it and kept doing it and kept getting proofs, and it was wrong and it was wrong. And I'm like, what am I not doing right? But I think I've got it now.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully with the next book I put out, I'm not going to end up having to tweak it. Like, it was like 5 times. It was so annoying.
Yeah.
But
learning experience.
There's another author we had on. Her name's Sloan Raleigh, and she was just getting her physical copies. And same thing. She'd be like, okay, this has to be it. Here's my box. Like, here it is. This has to be perfect. And then she'd open it up, and there was like a 1-inch gap of white on the bottom. She's like, how did that even happen?
I figured out.
And then like the next time the spine was like not set right. It was like off to the side. So she did it like 5 to 6 times too. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that didn't she say that she got her covers off Etsy, so they should have been formatted for her already.
I think so.
Yeah, it should have been perfect. So learning to use KDP was, and still is, because I haven't put anything up on KDP in 6 months, something like that. It's been a minute. It was in the spring. You forget. It's like I say riding a bike, but I never learned how to ride a bike. It's like riding a bike. If you don't do it, you forget.
Yeah.
So now I'm getting ready to go and put my second book in for proofs with my like rough draft cover, and we're just going to hope and pray that it doesn't take 7 tries to get it fixed. Like the amount of times I'm just like clicking, and my husband's like, what is wrong? I'm like, the stupid cover isn't right.
I think that's not the first time we've heard about like the cover proofs and stuff as like your biggest challenge. Well,
not even
like,
just the formatting for the cover, but the
hard.
formatting for the book itself.
Yeah.
Yes. And figuring out what size, getting a measuring tape and going, okay, so it's going to be this by that. That doesn't seem right. Like, that's the hardest part. Writing the book legitimately was one of the easier parts of the whole publishing process.
Seriously, it was in 17,833,002. I absolutely will never become an author.
Never say
Just
never. Never say never.
Oh, I'm saying never. I had ChatGPT when I was like in high school, but I had the like Walmart. Well, I wouldn't consider it Walmart version. I had the 2000s version of ChatGPT, and her name's Miranda.
That could be a great.
We were in the same classes. I know.
Who needs ChatGPT?
We were in the same
I
classes.
have Miranda.
Yeah. I was a senior. Miranda was a junior. We sat alphabetical order. So A and then M.
Mm-hmm.
I was set. I had a Miranda.
That's great.
Funny.
So you mentioned that this is the first in the series of the past life retellings. You've mentioned that there's number 2 coming. Can you give us a little tease of what everybody can expect? What am I trying to say? In future books.
So number 2 is the second life I learned about in that first session. And I was actually widowed from the Battle of Culloden in Scotland. If anybody's a Highlander
Wow.
fan, do you know what the Battle of Culloden is? This was before I got into Highlander, or Outlander, excuse me. Wrong thing. My husband would absolutely throw a shoe at me because I said the wrong thing.
I mean,
not
they are
Highlander. There is a
Highlanders,
difference.
so it works. It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
But so in that second life, I was widowed because as I kept telling Taven, I was like, my dumb of a husband got himself killed. That's what I kept saying over and over again. I was mad about it. I was big mad about it because I obviously did not side with his cause. I was just like, things are like, can we just live our lives? Like, and that life ended as I was just this little old lady in this house by myself because my children all went to the Americas after the Highland clearances. But I was stubborn. I was like, I'm staying here. This is my house. This is my land. And there was a lot of like bitterness in that one. So that life has gotten a rewriting, and I won't say necessarily it did end happier in this rewriting, but there was a lot of dealing with the really negative aspects of that marriage. There is a lot of, so in the Restitching 1, it's Kat's mom, and it's this voice of love coming across. In Restitching 2, the main character's name is Isla, and it is Isla's husband who he abused her like outrageously and belittled her and made her feel like less of herself than she had before they were married. Like she was a very loud woman and that was not acceptable.
Mhm.
I wonder where my loudness comes from. It was clearly that light shining through. Dealing with, because like I said, I just write the thing. They show me what happens, and dealing with these like pulls from the other side of her abusive late husband. It was really it's really heavy, but there is a lightness at the end. I will give you that. And she got to stay with her kids this time. That was a big thing because in the original life it was like the kids just left and forgot about me.
Yeah.
It's one of those if you don't cry, you have to laugh so you don't cry. There it is. There we go.
Mhm. Oh, I'm gonna be broken on that one.
Sorry in advance.
Are you though? Are you?
It's like that line from the 50 Shades of Grey movie. It's like, I'm sorry. No, you're not. Nope, not even a little bit.
Yep.
Not even a little. That's like my line. Are you really sorry? No.
Nope.
I have to have feelings in order to be sorry.
Well, we know based on the amount that you've cried in books, you do indeed have feelings, Ash.
Nobody needs to know.
We'll
keep it a
The secret. Gosh.
Okay. All right. Last question. If you could hop into any other past life genre, like Viking warrior, Regency ballrooms, ancient Egypt, which would you be most excited about to explore in a story?
Oh, spoiler, I've got a Viking one that's in the works. Oh, there's the dog barking at the cats. I told you it would happen.
That's okay. It's
I
okay.
knew it.
Effect.
Yes.
Effect.
I would really love to have been alive and at the court of Henry VIII, but I want to be like one of those lower noble ladies that's already married and he doesn't give two craps about. That way I was not in the
Yeah.
line of fire, but I saw everything. Because
the fly on the wall.
Homeboy would jump on anything that he thought he could, which is super funny because a friend of mine who is also, she wrote like a whole Henry VIII based book and she's never published it. And I'm like, excuse me, madam, I need this in my life right now. And she's like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, ugh. But yeah, I would want
At least you slide it over to me.
Yeah, just slide it my way. I would definitely love to explore that time period. And it's another one I feel drawn to. So maybe in the future, if I do more metaphysical digging and detective work, maybe it'll turn out that I was there. I don't know. Because
hopefully as a
Miranda's
fly
a
on
very
the
good
wall.
FBI agent.
God, I hope so. Listen, after some of the rough rides I've seen, I need a win. Just give this past life baby a win.
Yeah, just one. That's all I ask is one.
Goodness.
But then again, if this is the life where it's like, okay, this is the good one where nothing overly outrageous happens, I can live with that. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, this one's pretty good. This one's been a little bit of a cakewalk in comparison.
Kate, thank you so much for joining us today. We had a blast. We love learning about you and your stories and your past lives. And thank you for sharing your heart and healing behind Restitching Destiny. Can you share with everybody where they can find you and your work?
They can find Restitching #1 on Amazon. It is on Kindle Unlimited, and you can get it in paperback. You can also order signed paperbacks from my website, which is katewinchwrites.com. I am on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I am chronically on TikTok.
Me
It's
too.
kind of a problem. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Nope.
Chronically on TikTok and posting lots of content about books that are coming up there. I'm going to be posting a lot about my November release, which is a romantic fantasy based off of the Nutcracker, first in a trilogy. I'm very excited about it.
Ooh.
And I hope whenever you guys get to read those chapters, you enjoy them and they kind of
Oh yeah.
hook you in so you're ready. But yeah, that is.
Oh, I was
everywhere you
ready
can find
before
me.
we started.
I know, right?
I'm super excited about that one. That one's like the first one I started writing during lockdown. It's the first thing I started writing again as an adult. And now like I've got art coming. It's going to be out in November. Yeah.
It's going to be so fun. Masters, remember, you can grab your copies now. We're going to link everything Kate below. We're also doing something pretty fun that we haven't even told Kate about. So Kate was super generous and sent us 2 copies for a giveaway. So not only are we adding her copy to our monthly massive giveaway, we're also going to be running a special giveaway just for Kate. So make sure you guys are watching Instagram and TikTok to find out, if I can talk, find out how you can win this amazing copy of Restitching Destiny. It's been on our shelves for a while. I'm pretty sure Kate was the first one to send us book mail. I might be wrong.
It was pretty
But
close. I
you
think it was
guys
pretty close.
have to have it. Yeah, I think you were like one of the first couple. Keep an eye out on our socials for all of that. We'll make sure to tag Kate in everything. As always, join the conversation with us over on Instagram and let us know if you could rewrite one of your past lives, what would you change? Until next time, happy reading and happy mashing.